Donald Trump will be signing the Republican budget bill into law this afternoon at the White House at a celebration where, according to reports, there will be flyovers from military jets. Once again, the United States military will be used for political purposes following his military parade last month. As I promised last night, I'm going to spend the next 18 months to educate Americans across the country about what's in this budget bill. And I'm just going to give them the facts. Then they can make the decision on who they want to vote for, who they want to support based on what's in the budget bill. There's a lot of misinformation going around about cuts to Medicaid, cuts to SNAP. And so I'm going to clear it up. And I'm going to spend every day over the next 18 months to do so. So here are 7 provisions in this budget bill that not many people are actually talking about. First, $85 million has been allocated to relocate the space shuttle Discovery from Virginia to Houston. It's going to cause, there's no reason for it, particularly. It was pushed by John Cornyn and Ted Cruz, Texas's senators, but it's just going to cost Americans money. Second, commercial space programs and companies like SpaceX will begin paying phased in launch and reentry fees, starting at 25 cents per pound and reaching $1.50 by 2033, capped at $200,000 per launch. If you're a gambler, listen up. Gamblers can only deduct 90% of their losses from winnings, potentially increasing taxable income and impacting both professional and casual players. $257 million will be provided for Kennedy Center renovations despite cuts to national arts funding. It will eliminate the $200 fee and registration for silencers and short barrel rifles, removing them from the 1934 National Firearms Act, essentially making it easier to purchase a silencer for a firearm. It will increase the tax deduction for whaling related expenses from $10,000 to $50,000. If you want to know who secured this, look no further than Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, who has the largest whaling community in the country. And finally, it'll allow deduction of up to $10,000 in interest on an American-made car between 2025 and 2028, while ending the $7,500 EV tax credit this year in September. So if you want to buy an EV, buy it now. That's not including all the cuts to Medicaid, cuts to SNAP, work requirements, and I'm going to cover all those daily. But these are some of the provisions that are lesser known. And you could consider them good, bad, ugly, whatever you want to consider them. These are just the facts. In non-bill news, we are now entering the end of the 3-month trade negotiation period. Remember, Donald Trump announced major tariffs back in April, and then he said we're going to pause them for 90 days. Well, that 90 days is up in 5 days on July 9th. And before I continue, please consider supporting my work and allow me to expand this team and expand this movement by subscribing to my Substack by clicking the button below or sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. So now, when we get the tariffs, Donald Trump is going to be announcing reciprocal tariffs. He's going to be notifying 10 to 12 countries every single day, starting today, over the next 5 days, of reciprocal tariffs that will take effect on August 1st, ranging from 10% to 70%. So here's what I think is going to happen. He's going to announce these massive reciprocal tariffs again. The market's going to fall once again. And then we're going to learn by August 1st that he's just going to push the deadline once again. Mark my words on that. Trump celebrated the passage of the budget bill on the eve of 4th of July last night, calling it, quote, the best birthday present for America. He turned a kickoff event for the 249th anniversary of the United States into a campaign-style rally where he mocked President Biden, repeated election fraud claims, and proposed to allow migrant laborers to stay if vouched by farmers. Kind of a taco moment. Donald Trump also used the term Shylock, which is an anti-Semitic term. He says that he was unaware that it's considered anti-Semitic. He used it during the rally to describe predatory moneylenders, saying that it simply meant someone who lends at a high interest. But what we know is that that term is anti-Semitic, and yet he used it anyway. Trump announced a UFC fight will be hosted on White House grounds next year for America's 250th anniversary. A record Russian drone attack on Kyiv left 1 dead and 23 injured, just hours after Donald Trump said no progress has been made on a ceasefire with his call with Vladimir Putin. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, unilaterally blocked a weapons shipment to Ukraine, surprising the State Department, Congress, and Kyiv, despite the fact that military analysts confirmed that the aid would not impact U.S. military residents. And finally, a Los Angeles school district is demanding an investigation into ICE after ICE agents trespassed on a high school campus in Pico Rivera without a warrant, urinated in public view near students and were later seen roughly arresting a U.S. citizen during a nearby raid. There's outrage right now in the Pico Rivera community because they were literally urinating on storage containers near a preschool playground. And now we need answers. Spread the word. That's all the news right now. We'll see what happens throughout the day. I'll be back this evening with another update. So subscribe to support, and I'll see you later.